Hello and welcome to this new episode of Siasa Talks, the only place where we meet to discuss political situations and scenarios. We try to interpret them and try to get the implication of the same to the entire bigger picture of the political destiny of this country. I trust it's been a beautiful week and you're all keeping safe. Well, there has been a lot of things that have happened in this past week and we need to examine them one after the other. Number one, there has been the KANU merger. KANU merged with Jubilee just the other day. Then there has been Senate changes where a few guys from Jubilee Party were knocked off their positions and replaced with other new people. Then there was an announcement of a parliamentary group meeting for the Jubilee Party. And then lastly, there was just the other day, there was released the referendum bill of 2020. Before we delve into this much, there is a book I read called The Marriage of Anansewa. So in this book written by Efwa Theodora Sutherland in 1975, Anansewa's father, introduces her daughter to 4 chiefs in the older Ghana. And all these 4 chiefs pay bride price for Ananse. When it reaches the time for the wedding, Ananse has to play a way to escape this dilemma. And he talks to his daughter Anansewa, who plays dead, so that the only person that was willing to take Anansewa, even in death, would then be married to Anansewa. And one of the chiefs actually takes Anansewa's body in court, and that is the man who marries Anansewa. President Uhuru Kenyatta has found himself in the same situation. When you almost live in power, there is a lot of people that even if you have not told them that you're leaving the seat for them, they think they will fit in that position. So they start creating their own succession plans. And there must be so many of them right now around President Uhuru Kenyatta. So President Uhuru Kenyatta is in the situation of Ananse, and he's now beginning to find a way out of that dilemma. And the best way out of that dilemma is cleaning his house. One man that has become victim of this cleaning is his deputy president, William Ruto. He's now in a state where he's purely and totally weak. But a man must fight, a man must survive. So what is remaining for Dr. William Arap Samoei Ruto to do? Number one is for William Ruto to continue doing what he's doing right now, which is keeping quiet as everything goes, as the walls rumble down into debris. Number two, he can actually leave Jubilee and find another party that he will use for 2022. Some people have suggested that William Ruto should forego 2022, go into silence, play hibernation, and then rise up either in 2026 or in 2032. This to me is not really the best solution for Deputy President William Ruto. In politics, there comes a time when you must make a decision. So this is the time for Deputy President William Ruto to make a decision. And in my opinion, I would suggest that Deputy President just stays put, and then when all is done and settled, then he makes a grand move, leave the party, and create the constitutional dilemma that will be there when a deputy president quits. What do you do? William Ruto can leave Jubilee Party, start his own party, vie on the same party in 2022, where most likely he may not win the election in 2022. But that will keep the momentum and that will keep the political activity on his side. Then he can try it again in the next election that follows 2022. That will clearly make deputy presidents remain in the game, because what is being done in a bid to get him out of the game, to eject him out of the game, either temporarily or completely. What is the interpretation of KANU merging with Jubilee? It is very clear from the signs that we can read that Gideon Moi is a candidate in the presidential space in this country in the next few years. That is something we cannot wish away. So the merger of Kanu is just getting him closer to power so that he starts learning the ways of being a head of state. And this is a culturing process for Senator Gideon Moi. And when he's mature enough, then he will be thrown into the ring, and probably he will sail through as the president of this country at some point. Put aside the dynasty story and Gideon Moi's family. But if you look at Gideon Moi as an individual, for me he comes out as a very refined politician that you may want to put the entire country in his hand when the right time comes. Raila Amolo Odinga is in this game plan to play the same position that Kibaki played in 2002 to 2012. It is very clear that in 2002, when Kanu was leaving power, Moi had all the power to do anything possible to make Uhuru Kenyatta win the election in 2002. He had the state machinery, he had the control, and he had everything, but he chose not to. So in my opinion, there must have been another discussion between Moi and Kibaki after becoming president. And Moi must have been very candid with Kibaki and told him, I could have done anything possible to stop you, but I did not, because I wanted you to help Uhuru Kenyatta get here when the time comes. And that is why President Kibaki gave Uhuru Kenyatta a very lucrative position in his government. And then after 2007, because this plan had to work, then Mwai Kibaki had to betray Raila Amolo Odinga in 2007, and they had to fall out before the 2007 election. Because if they stayed together, then this Uhuru Kenyatta card would not see the light of the day. In that discussion that happened during the handshake, Raila Amolo Odinga must have been told how this works. It's not about popularity, it's not about the numbers, it's not about the masses, it's about the book and the rules in the book. And he must have been told candidly, plainly, that you can get here if you help us also get here. And that is why Gideon Moi has been brought into the game now. That the system, which everyone refers to as the system, this animal called the system that we don't know, that has no face, will engineer the process to make Raila president in 2022. Note that I said make. And after that, Raila will sit in this position, and in his government, Gideon Moi will occupy a very lucrative position, in my opinion, probably the Prime Minister's position. Let's look at the referendum bill 2020. It shows that the referendum is going to happen and nothing is going to stand in its way. Nothing. So when this referendum comes, remember, one of the items of this referendum will be to change the presidential terms, to collapse it into a one term of 7 years. This amendment may only be for Raila Amolo Odinga, so that he holds that position for 7 years as Gideon matures in readiness for this position. Maybe today is an opportunity for us to demystify this thing that people are throwing carelessly about dynasties. And when they're saying dynasties, they are referring to Uhuru Kenyatta's family, Raila Amolo Odinga's family, Gideon Moi's family. Well, let's look at it keenly in our own and contextualize our political landscape. In this country, for you to be a political stronghold, you must have worked for it for over 40 years. There's nobody that has just fallen into the space from nowhere. So it goes without saying that these families we list as dynasties are not dynasties actually, but they have just invested and worked and remained consistent in the political space for years. There has also been another conversation where people say Uhuru Kenyatta may not be going away, he may probably be coming in as Prime Minister. In my opinion, I think that's not going to happen. Uhuru Kenyatta is actually going to retire after his term, but he will remain actively involved and in control and in management of the government that comes after 2022. That is why you have seen the changes that are happening. And these changes are going to continue, especially in the Rift Valley. Uhuru Kenyatta is going to raise a lot of other men and women who will completely try to diminish the rise of William Ruto in the region, so that the entire Rift Valley community will not feel that they have been left out or they have been betrayed, but they will feel like they have given us now the best. I foresee in the near future, people like Isaac Ruto are going to get into government. Uhuru is going to look for people like Dr. Sally Kosgei. Uhuru is going to look for people like Henry Kosgei. He's going to look for people like Franklin Bett. And these are people that are going to change the dynamics of that region. And the Kalenjin nation will not even cry for, they'll not even have an opportunity to cry. Because they will look around and they will see their men have been elevated, their men and women have been elevated. And then they will compare with one man. And this will actually go well with Uhuru Kenyatta. And if you like this, and you would want to be part of this community and continue benefiting from this analysis from time to time, kindly subscribe to this channel. You can like, you can drop your comment, and you can also share to people of like minds. And remember to click the notification bell